Hello everyone, welcome to today's class, and our title today is Everything But the Bagel. It's quite an interesting title. Let's move on to language focus. 1번. The seeds contain only tiny quantities of opiates, not nearly enough to affect the person's brain or body. So as you can see, I've highlighted not nearly. So we use not nearly to express that something falls far short of some requirement or condition. It is similar meaning to much less than. It is most often used with as or enough. So not nearly, 보다 훨씬 적게, 덜하게. 기준도는 조건에 훨씬 미칠 때 쓰는 표현. 주로 as 또는 enough랑 같이 사용한다. Alright, so an example would be, one slice of pizza is not nearly enough food for me. Yes, one 한판 is not nearly enough for me. 피자 한 조각은 제게 전혀 충분하지 않습니다. This is off topic, but I can eat like 2 whole pizzas by myself. Something I'm not proud of. Football practices are hard, but they are not nearly as hard as wrestling practices. Okay, so 축구 or football 연습은 힘들지만 레슬링 연습보다는 훨씬 쉽습니다. So football, I would call football 축구, but there's a lot of people. I think there's some writer of this article is American, and he would call football something else, like American football. So yes, not nearly. 보다 훨씬 적게 or 덜하게. Alright, moving on to 2번 now. For the time being though, we'll have to find something different to put on our bagels. Sorry, I didn't highlight for the time being. So use for the time being to describe a situation that will exist for at least the near future and possibly longer. So for the time being, 당분간 or 현재로서는. So example, for the time being, we are not planning to hire any new employees. 현재로서는 새로운 직원을 채용할 계획이 없습니다. And I'll buy a house someday, but I'm going to continue renting for the time being. 언젠가는 집을 마련할 거지만 당분간은 계속 월세로 살 생각입니다. Alright, now let's look at the language focus quiz. 1번, is not nearly enough for So remember, if we scroll back up to not nearly enough, what did we say? Not nearly enough, 보다 훨씬 적게, 덜하게. So, is not nearly enough for let's say, I'll take off this. 1 cup is not nearly enough water for a hot day. So, 더운 날에는 한 컵의 물로 절대 충분하지 않습니다. Yes, drink a lot of water, people. 2번. Is not nearly as big as say my company, which I don't have one, I wish I did, is not nearly as big as Apple. 우리 회사는 애플만큼 크지 않습니다. And for the time being, remember, for the time being, 당분간 or 현재로서는. So for the time being, I don't plan to go overseas. 현재로서는 해외에 나갈 계획이 없습니다. 4번. Will probably continue to for the time being. She will probably continue to stay at her job for the time being. 그녀가 당분간 현재 직장에 계속 다닐 가능성이 높아요. Alright, now let's look at the further discussion. 1번. Do you ever feel nervous when you pass through customs, immigration, or airport security? If so, what makes you nervous about it? 관세 출입국 심사 또는 공항 보안 검색대를 통과할 때 긴장한 적이신가요? 그렇다면 무엇이 당신을 긴장하게 만드나요? No, not really. You should only feel nervous if you're carrying something that is not supposed to be in the country, and I'm not one of those people. I have been nervous about not being let into a country before. I remember when I had a passport that had less than 6 months on it, and you're not supposed to have a passport that has less than 6 months. You can't travel. You shouldn't be able to travel. And I had to stop in Singapore, and Singapore had strict rules that you cannot enter the country if you have less than 6 months on your passport. But I wasn't going to Singapore. I was going to Australia via Singapore. And I was very nervous about going through Singapore because I thought maybe they would stop me, but luckily everything was fine. 2번, do you usually request something when your friends go to the US or other overseas destinations? If so, what do you ask for? 친구들이 미국이나 해외에 날 갈 때 보통 무언가를 요청하나요? 그렇다면 무엇을 부탁하나요? I only ask friends who go to Australia because there are a lot of Australian snacks that I miss. Or if someone is coming over from Australia, I always tell them, please get me this snack or get me this whatever, because you cannot get it in Korea. There are so many good snacks in Australia that would sell really well in Korea, and I think I should become an import-export business, because there are so many good snacks that I think that Koreans would enjoy or love. Only because I know this, because I've brought back snacks and give them to my Korean friends, and they absolutely love them. So those only when people go to Australia, because I personally, I wouldn't ask a friend to bring me anything from another country that wasn't Australia, because they have their own things to bring back, and if they bring back something from the country as a gift, fantastic, good on them. But I would never ask. But you know what I do continuously get as a present? That is what's that jam that you get in Singapore? It starts with K. I can't remember. Anyway, I've got 2 jars of that jam or 3 jars of that jam. People keep bringing it back to me, and I'm not interested in putting that jam on my food. I don't know why. I don't like the color of it. Anyway, that wraps it up for today's class, and I'll see you on the next class.
Customs.
Customs.
Brevity.
Brevity.
Opiate.
Opiate.
Sniffer dog.
Sniffer dog.
Single out.
Single out.
Get high.
Get high.